Over 2,000 games for just this year. Despite the PlayStation 5's launch, the PlayStation 4 isn't dying anytime soon. From the over 2,600 critic reviews and 169,000 user scores, we gathered up to 10 of the best PlayStation 4 games that came out this year, all arranged by PlayScore. To check the full list, visit our website at Whatoplay.com, link in the description box below. We'd like to thank the sponsor for our 2021 Games of the Year series, Gold Inc. If you're looking for a free-to-play, play-to-earn mobile game, we'll let you know more about them later in the video.
Chris? Sorry, Ethan. Why?
Number 10, Resident Evil Village. It's hard to ignore the success of Capcom's latest survival horror chapter. According to many of our critics and users, Village was the first gold standard for AAA horror this year, mainly due to its carnival of terrors in every corner. From giant vampires, creepy dolls, and fish monsters, Village knew how to keep the frights going. Ethan Winter's journey was a roller coaster of emotions. Even on the PlayStation 4, the game ran smoothly, albeit sacrificing that crisp 60 frames for the ideal 30. The RE engine is a blessing for old-gen users, and Village was proof that they can still make a great RE game before the console's imminent swan song. A play score of an 8.78.
Ready for an ass kicking?
This is our chance! Wipe them out! Let's do this!
Ninth on the list, Persona 5 Strikers. The Phantom Thieves' return was a welcome surprise for this year. Strikers wasn't something we'd expect in the Persona 5 universe, but then again, with Atlus's knack for experimental spin-offs, anything could happen. The hybrid of Dynasty Warriors' Musou combat and the slick Persona summoning powers of our favorite Phantom Thieves are like a match made in heaven. Attack of the Fanboy praised the sequel-like format, saying it does a great job continuing what was an already great and established universe without changing much besides the battle formula. It's a game built for Persona 5 fans, and this follow-up was a refreshing take on Joker and his gang of heart stealers. A play score of an 8.78.
Stay away from my sister.
Number 8 is NieR Replicant. Yoko Taro managed to remake this cult classic after the success of 2B's adventures in Automata. This 10-year-old game needed a lot of ironing out, but developer Toy Logic, with the help of Square, polished out most of the kinks of the original. It is the perfect way for fans of Automata to experience the original and for the newcomers to engage with the franchise. Cites Cog Connected, who gave it a score of 84. It integrated Automata's fast-paced combat and added quality-of-life controls that saved us time as we navigate through its bleak dystopian world. The story is, of course, still packed with Yoko Taro's brand of strangeness. A play score of an 8.81. Number 7, Guilty Gear Strive. The winner of this year's Game Awards for Best Fighting Game. Arc System Works' stylish fighter, as IGN describes it, is a milestone 2D fighting game that raises the bar for anime-like fighters. IGN also went on to praise its style, netcode, and sheer creativity, concluding by giving the game a score of 9. Strive doesn't strive to be an intimidating fighter that filters the casuals from pros. It's actually the most accessible Guilty Gear game to date, especially with its beginner-friendly tutorials. You can simply mash buttons and you'd be enjoying it in no time. Its selection of gonzo characters is also one that leaves a lasting impression on new players. By the time you finished your match, you'd be finding that perfect character for you. By then, no one's stopping you from going competitive. A play score of an 8.85.
The sword of Clan Sakai has saved lives and ended wars.
6 is Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut. Sucker Punch's open-world samurai game wowed so many players when it came out 2 years ago. It was a gorgeous power fantasy that took you to the 13th century Mongolia-controlled Japan to play a badass Kurosawa-style character. This definitive edition of the PlayStation exclusive is not the best way to play the game. Unfortunately for PlayStation 4 users, you won't get the full visual and performance improvements of its next-gen counterpart. Perhaps the best feature for this old-gen version is the addition of a 10 to 15 hour Iki Island expansion story. According to Destructoid, although the DLC does feel like too much of a companion piece at times, it doesn't feel tacked on in the slightest. The base game remains the same, but alongside the DLC and the online multiplayer, there's so many more hours stacked into this game. A play score of an 8.90. Before we move on to the next game in our list, we'd like to thank Gold Inc. for sponsoring this video. Gold Inc. is a free-to-play, play-to-earn gold mining simulator that you can download right on your phone. Start building your gold mining empire with the 10 million cash you get as your capital when you start the game. Use this money to buy excavators, wash plants, security, and everything you need to thrive in this cutthroat gold industry. Much like a real-life gold mining plant, you may not always get the gold. But worry not, you can still sell the ores you mine to buy more fuel and equipment so you can keep digging until you hit that elusive gold. And that's when the real fun begins. As a play-to-earn game, you can actually get real-life moolah from playing. You can find and own claims worth as much as $10 million. That's because the game's currency, GXP, which is available on the Apollo wallet, is designed to grow in value every day. You know that when it comes to NFT gaming, it's so valuable to get in early, because the more players come in, the more competitive the game gets. So, if you want to start playing Gold Inc. today, download it for free with the links in the description box below. Don't forget to use our code 414-52546 upon sign-up.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
Number 5, Psychonauts 2. For almost 2 decades, Double Fine's cult favorite platformer finally released its true sequel this year. It was a huge leap for the video games of 16 years ago. Still, Psychonauts never forgot its roots. This sequel is still a mind-bending trip that puts focus into its characters, story, and its themes of mental health.
We're not here to change people's minds. We're not here to fix people. Don't panic.
You said panic!
We're here to help people fight their own demons.
PS Lifestyle's Rebecca Smith said, "It's a glorious return for the franchise, one that should keep existing to make fans happy while being perfectly welcoming for new players." Maneuvering through shape-shifting worlds and psyches with Raz is an audio-visual experience that looks good even on Sony's 8-year-old console. A play score of an 8.91. Fourth is Quake. The OG shooter that paved the way for the creation of thousands of games since its inception. id Software's Quake is a genre-defining title that just received its modern polish this year. This Quake gets the update for your PlayStation 4, from the visuals to its sounds and controls. You get to enjoy this 1996 classic with 2021 eyes. COG Connected praised its slew of content. Between the 5 campaigns, the console mods, and the multiplayer, this is a lot of bang for your buck. If you can't enjoy the new Halo, or if you just want to revisit the good old days of classic shooters, this Quake remaster is something you should try. A play score of an 8.97.
Why are you doing this to us?
Because you two must learn collaboration. You know, collaboration is the key to a successful relationship. Huh? Collaboration.
Third is It Takes Two. Taking the crown for Game of the Year in Geoff Keighley's award show, Joseph the Oscars Fair's latest project was all about partners working together to save a dying marriage. It Takes Two's genre-shifting adventure can net you hours of non-stop fun. No world feels the same, and it encourages team play through and through. Attack of the Fanboy gave it a perfect score, saying it is co-op gaming at its most joyous and whimsical, and will forever be in the hearts of anyone that is lucky enough to play it. So hand over that extra controller, invite a friend, whoever it may be, and enjoy this multi-award-winning game. A play score of a 9.05.
I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. All right, one more time.
Second top PS4 is Hades. This PlayStation 4 release came a few months after Supergiant's release for PC. Hades is an indie giant that captured the hearts of many. Whether you're a fan of the roguelike action formula or a good story about the Greek pantheon, Hades has so many adventures for you to explore and enjoy. Its roguelike gameplay is boiled down to its most essential elements, never needing to saturate the gameplay. The never-ending cycle of Zagreus' journey has a lot more room for breathing, especially with its story-heavy moments after every death. But if you're in it for the action, the game doesn't stop when you beat the final boss. The many upgrades, loot, and Greek god powers you acquire throughout your quest has hundreds of variations to experiment on. The critics and users have spoken. Hades receives a play score of a 9.07.
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
And the top PS4 game of 2021 goes to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. One of gaming's most celebrated science fiction stories. Commander Shepard's 5-year-long quest to stop the Reapers was such a huge moment in gaming. This Legendary Edition is the perfect way to revisit the trilogy in all its glory. In some ways, all 3 titles are showing their age, but excellent character writing and exceptional world building makes this a timeless trilogy, said Push Square, who gave it a score of 9. It's packed with all kinds of upgrades, from visuals to sound and quality of life improvements. Playing the first game doesn't feel like a chore anymore. In addition to its few important changes, picking this game up has all their well-written DLC stories. This makes us all excited for BioWare's next Mass Effect game, and hopefully, it doesn't disappoint. The Legendary Edition receives a play score of a 9.14.